Ladies and gentlemen, there's a moment in life when the veil lifts and the truth hits you like a lightning bolt. It's raw, it's painful, but it's necessary. That's the moment God begins to unveil the narcissist in your life, not to destroy you, but to deliver you. The pain you felt, it wasn't just heartbreak, it wasn't failure, it was preparation for the person God designed you to be. Because the thing about pain is it's not the end of your story, it's the beginning of your breakthrough. When God exposes a narcissist's true nature, he's not just showing you who they are, he's showing you who you are without them. You were never meant to live under someone else's shadow or control. God's light exposes the darkness not to shame you, but to save you. Here's where it gets powerful. The chains that held you, manipulation, gaslighting, self-doubt, are broken. The moment you decide enough is enough, that's your first step to freedom. It's terrifying to step out of the familiar, even when the familiar is toxic. But let me tell you something, the path to healing starts with courage. In that moment of breaking free, you begin to rediscover who you really are. You're not defined by someone else's lies. Your worth isn't tied to their approval. You're a child of God, fearfully and wonderfully made. That's where your healing begins. Certainly, here's an expanded and engaging version of the awakening moment. There comes a time in life when a spark is lit within us, a moment so profound that it shakes the foundation of everything we thought we knew. This is the awakening moment. It's the instant when clarity pierces through the fog of doubt, hesitation, or monotony. And for the first time in a long time, or perhaps the first time ever, you see not just the world around you, but the endless possibilities lying dormant within you. In this moment, it feels as though time slows down. A rush of realization courses through your veins, whispering truths you might have buried under layers of fear and routine. The truth that you are capable, the truth that your dreams, those persistent, unshakable visions, are not foolish or out of reach. The truth that you are here in this world for a purpose greater than mere survival. Awakening is not always comfortable. It demands courage to confront the barriers you've built around yourself, to admit where you settled for less or let self-doubt win. It's a call to action, urging you to break free from the stories you've been told or the limitations you've accepted. This moment may arrive in the quiet stillness of reflection or come crashing down like a thunderstorm in the wake of failure, heartbreak, or sudden epiphany. But whenever it comes with power, a power you can no longer ignore. And in that awakening, you begin to realize the weight of the time you've spent asleep, going through the motions. But this isn't a moment for regret. No, it's a moment for gratitude for every mistake, every detour, and every setback that brought you here to this exact point, because without them, this awakening might never have come. The struggles and challenges weren't obstacles, they were teachers, preparing you for the realization that you are stronger, braver, and more resilient than you ever gave yourself credit for. And now that the spark is lit, it's up to you to fan the flames. This awakening isn't the end, it's a beginning. It's an invitation to dream bigger, to live bolder, and to chase the life you've always felt tugging at your soul. Yes, the path forward will be uncertain, and yes, it will require effort. But isn't that what makes it worthwhile? Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from the willingness to step into the unknown, trusting that you have what it takes to navigate it. This moment, this awakening is a gift. It's a reminder that you are not a prisoner of your past, nor a bystander in your own life. You have the power to change, to rise, and to redefine what's possible. So let this moment sink in. Let it remind you of who you are and all you're capable of, because the awakening is here and it's calling you to rise. Well, let me know if you'd like any further refinement. Pain as a portal to growth. Pain is an inevitable part of the human experience. It comes to us in many forms: physical, emotional, mental, and even spiritual. And yet, while pain is universal, how we perceive it and respond to it can transform it from a source of suffering into a catalyst for growth. What if, instead of seeing pain as a barrier, we began to view it as a portal, a gateway that, while difficult to step through, leads us to deeper understanding, resilience, and strength? Life does not shield us from challenges. Loss, failure, heartbreak, and disappointment touch us all. In those moments, it is natural to feel overwhelmed, even defeated. But pain has an extraordinary way of demanding our attention. It forces us to pause, to reassess, and often to confront parts of ourselves that we might otherwise ignore. It has a way of stripping away pretense and exposing raw, authentic truths about who we are and what we value most. In this stripping away, there is clarity. And in clarity, there is an opportunity for transformation. Growth rarely happens in comfort. Think of the seed breaking open in the soil, its shell shattered as it pushes through the darkness toward the light. Think of the caterpillar dissolving within its cocoon, unrecognizable before emerging as a butterfly. Pain is the cracking open of the seed, the disintegration in the cocoon. It is the necessary process that precedes the beauty of growth. You know, when we face pain with courage and openness, something remarkable happens. We become aware of our own strength. Every challenge endured and every hardship overcome leaves a mark, not as a scar of weakness, but as a testament to resilience. Each painful experience teaches us something about our capacity to love, to persevere, to forgive, and to adapt. It shows us that we are far more capable than we often believe. Pain, in its paradoxical way, builds us. And it doesn't just build individuals, it connects us. Pain reminds us of our shared humanity. When we see others navigating their struggles, we understand them more deeply because we've been there ourselves. Empathy grows in the fertile soil of shared experiences, especially the difficult ones. Pain breaks down the walls of isolation and allows us to reach out, to help, and to heal together. In walking through the portal of pain, we emerge not only stronger, but wiser. We learn to appreciate the joys of life more profoundly, for it is often through the contrast of struggle that we come to truly value peace. Pain reshapes our perspective, teaching us to hold gratitude for even the smallest victories and moments of grace. And so when pain comes knocking, as it inevitably will, let us not run from it or resist it. Let us instead look it in the eye and ask, what are you here to teach me? Where will you lead me if I am brave enough to follow. God's light exposes darkness. God's light exposes darkness in ways that are profound, transformative, and sometimes even uncomfortable. When His light shines, it reveals not just the hidden corners of the world around us, but also the shadows within our own hearts. It is in that moment of revelation that we are faced with a choice: to retreat into the darkness that feels familiar, or to step boldly into the light, embracing truth, hope, and healing. Consider how light functions in the natural world. In a dark room, a single candle can transform the space, pushing back shadows and revealing what was once unseen. The same is true of God's light. It does not merely coexist with darkness, it overcomes it. When His truth shines, lies are dismantled. When His love illuminates, fear and hatred have no place to hide. It is an active, unstoppable force that changes everything it touches. Yet, exposure to light can feel daunting. We often grow accustomed to the darkness, where imperfections remain hidden and vulnerabilities stay protected. But God's light is not meant to shame or condemn. It is meant to restore and renew. It lovingly reveals what needs healing, what needs surrendering, and what needs transforming. His light offers clarity where there was confusion, and direction where there was aimlessness. What once felt uncertain becomes illuminated with His purpose. And throughout Scripture, we see how God's light transforms lives. Saul, blinded by God's light on the road to Damascus, was brought to his knees, only to rise as Paul, one of the greatest apostles of the faith. The woman at the well encountered the light of truth in her conversation with Jesus, and what began as exposure of her past ended in the revelation of her future as a witness to her entire village. Time and again, God's light exposes, not to harm, but to heal, not to destroy, but to rebuild. In the same way, we are called to live as bearers of that light, reflecting it into a world filled with darkness. Our words, actions, and lives become instruments through which His truth is revealed. We are not the source of the light, but we are its vessels, carrying the message of hope and redemption to places in desperate need of illumination. To walk in His light is to embrace a life of honesty, love, and purpose, a life that refuses to let darkness dictate the narrative. When God's light exposes the darkness, it is a reminder that nothing is beyond His reach or His redemption. No matter how deep the shadows may seem, His light is deeper still. It pierces through despair, doubt, and brokenness, inviting us to step out of hiding and into the fullness of His grace. What a gift it is to be seen, known, and loved by a God whose light never fades, whose truth never wavers, and whose power to transform is endless, breaking free from the chains of manipulation. Every human being deserves to walk through life unshackled, unchained by the invisible forces that seek to control their thoughts, actions, and choices. Yet, manipulation has a way of weaving itself into the fabric of our lives, often without us even realizing it. It thrives on fear, on doubt, and on the subtle erosion of our sense of self. But here's the truth. No one was born to be a puppet. You were born to be free. Manipulation works in the shadows. It whispers in your ear, convincing you that you're not enough, that you must bend, conform, and submit to the will of others. It disguises itself as flattery, as persuasion, as care. But when you step back and truly see it for what it is, you realize that manipulation is nothing more than a thief. It steals your autonomy, your clarity, and most dangerously, your confidence in your own voice. But here's the good news. Chains can be broken, and the first step is awareness. When you learn to recognize manipulation, you take back the power it once held over you. You reclaim your strength by questioning the motives of those who seek to control you. Ask yourself, why do they want me to act this way? Whose interests are being served? What am I sacrificing? These questions are not signs of distrust. They are signs of awakening. They are the first sparks of freedom. Breaking free requires courage, the kind of courage that may make your knees tremble and your voice shake. But even in those moments of vulnerability, you are powerful. Choosing to stand firm, to set boundaries, and to honor your inner truth is a revolutionary act. It is a declaration that you will not be swayed by guilt, fear, or false promises. And make no mistake, the world needs people who refuse to be manipulated. It needs individuals who think critically, who make decisions rooted in their values, and who live authentically. When you break free, you don't just liberate yourself, you inspire others. You become a beacon of strength, showing others that they too can rise above the noise and reclaim their lives. Freedom from manipulation isn't just about rejecting control. It's about stepping fully into your power. It's about recognizing your worth, your wisdom, and your ability to navigate the world on your terms. It's about embracing the uncomfortable but necessary process of self-discovery, where you learn to trust yourself above all else. So let go of the chains. Walk away from the voices that belittle you, the systems that exploit you, and the narratives that convince you to doubt your light. You are not here to be someone else's pawn. You are here to live boldly, to dream wildly, and to soar freely. The moment you decide to break free, the world shifts. Your voice becomes stronger, your steps more certain, and your heart a little lighter. Because freedom isn't just the destination, it's a choice. Make it yours, today and every day. The power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most profound and transformative powers we possess. It is not a sign of weakness, nor is it a surrender to injustice. Instead, forgiveness is a courageous act of liberation. It is the choice to unburden our hearts from the weight of anger, resentment, and pain, and to embrace a future unchained by the mistakes of the past. When we hold on to grudges, they consume us from within, occupying the spaces in our minds that could be filled with joy and peace. It is said that holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiveness, however, offers a path to healing, a chance to reclaim our peace of mind and emotional well-being. It is not about excusing the wrong or forgetting the pain. It is about deciding that our happiness and inner calm are more important than the chains of bitterness. Forgiveness is an act of strength, not submission. It takes immense courage to look beyond the pain and to rise above the hurt. It is an act of defiance against the darkness, a declaration that we will not let negativity define us. When we forgive, we are not erasing the past. We are choosing to write a new story, a story where we are the authors of our destiny, not prisoners of our pain. Imagine the lives that have been changed through forgiveness. Families once torn apart by betrayal find their way back to each other. Friendships shattered by misunderstandings are mended. Even in the face of unspeakable loss, there are those who have reached out with forgiveness, transforming their pain into a bridge of compassion and understanding. These are not acts of saints or superheroes. These are acts of everyday people who chose to rise above their pain for the sake of their own freedom and the hope of reconciliation. Forgiveness is not only a gift we give to others, it is a profound act of self-love. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the prisons we build around our hearts. We rediscover the beauty of life and open ourselves to possibilities we could never have imagined while weighed down by anger. In forgiving, we claim our power, the power to determine how we respond to life's challenges, the power to find light in the darkness, and the power to heal not just ourselves, but also the world around us. Forgiveness does not come easily, and it is rarely instantaneous. It is a journey, a deliberate process of reflection, understanding, and release. But with each step, we feel lighter, freer, and more alive. And in forgiving others, we often find that the most challenging yet rewarding forgiveness is the one we extend to ourselves. We are all imperfect beings, learning and growing. Forgiveness is the ultimate acknowledgement of our shared humanity. So when we embrace the power of forgiveness, we are not just transforming our own lives, we are creating ripples that can heal communities, strengthen relationships, and inspire others. Forgiveness is not a one-time act. It is a way of living, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and a shining example of the love and grace we all carry within. As we close today, I want you to take a deep breath and feel this truth in your soul. You were never abandoned. You were being aligned. When God unveiled the narcissists in your life, it wasn't to punish you or break your spirit. It was to set you free. Free to heal, free to grow, free to step into the fullness of who you're meant to be. Yes, the journey is hard, it's messy, but every tear, every struggle, every step forward is part of a divine process. You're stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more loved than you can imagine. This is your moment to rise. Your story isn't over, it's just beginning. Let the pain you've endured become the foundation of your strength. Let your healing be the spark that lights the way for others. And let your faith be the anchor that keeps you steady through every storm. You are walking into a season of empowerment, clarity, and purpose. Believe that, claim it. Because when God unveils the truth, He also unveils the power within you to overcome it. So go forth boldly, walk in faith, live in truth, and remember, you are not just a survivor. You are a warrior. You are an overcomer. And you are a shining testimony of God's amazing grace. Thank you, and may you continue this journey with courage, strength, and unshakable faith.